back for another limited budget food challenge. This is going to be the long one. This is going to be a full month. The month will be separated out into 4 weeks. So the first week we're going to be going to Lidl's. The second week we're going to go to Asda's. The third week we're going to go to Aldi's. And the fourth week I'm just trying to decide whether I go to Morrison's or Tesco's. Both shops that I don't shop at. I'm going to drive a little bit out of my way to those ones just so we can check them out. I know there's a lot of people which like seeing the different shop layouts and the items we've got on the shelves. It's going to be £20 a week, which is slightly higher than the £2 I said in the previous challenge I was going to do. Each week we're going to be able to roll over the ingredients that we had from the previous week left over. The second thing is I am going to buy one spice or herb out of the £20 allocation, because I've had a lot of chats with people in the comment section. Some people don't like the idea of me using herbs and spices whilst cooking when I'm doing these budget challenges, and I've always explained that on a normal shop I just pick up a herb or spice or replace one. I've always got herbs and spices in the cupboards for cooking. Because we're treating this like more like a normal food budget shop with £20, which isn't, you know, a very tight budget, but it's also not, you know, going mad spending loads of money on food each week. I just figured we will chuck in a herb or spice, and then that way I can kind of show to you over the 4 weeks when we get to the end of it what we put aside and how much is left. So enough waffling on that. The other parameter is anything free foraged or scavenged. For example, I've picked up some stuff from the hotel this week, so I've got some little, well actually I'm going to save it and show you, because I'll wait until after I've done the food shop and we get home, and then I can go through what I picked up from the hotel, because I was very excited with the little bits and bobs I picked up. Let's go Lidl's. Let's get the first week's worth of stuff. Let's take a look at what we picked up for £20. Bearing in mind this is the first week, so I've bought quite a lot of stuff. I bought a lot of like rice, lentils and stuff like that, because I'm now deliberately trying to carry stuff over into week 2. So as opposed to me not doing a very good job on a normal challenge and having too much left, I'm now actively trying to have more left. First item we've got is the kilogram of long grain rice, 1 kilogram of porridge oats, and I've had so many comments, tips, recipe ideas and advice. I really needed to turn back to porridge oats again just to get through some of these amazing tips I've been given. Self-raising flour. Something to note in this challenge, I've not actually bought any bread, so I have no choice this week. If I want something for lunch at work, I'm gonna have to make flatbreads and stuff like that. I basically removed the laziness from me. because it was easy just to buy a 50p loaf of bread. And then I got some natural yogurt, because a few comments on the channel said just self-raising flour, natural yogurt makes flatbread. We're going to be trying that, try and batch make some so that we've got some for during the week. We've got 1 kilogram of cooking bacon. This is all the offcuts when they prepare the bacon packs. So when we open this up, there could potentially, and I think I can see some there, some actual full bacon slices. Then there's other little bits, but we can use that. It's got fat, it's got flavour, and there's loads of it. So I'm going to separate that down and we can freeze some up. That's definitely going to last more than a week. 12 medium eggs, a kilogram of onions. I looked through and got the firmest, freshest ones. That one's slightly, that'll be the one we use first. Carrots, so a kilogram of carrots. Tomato pasta sauce, chopped tomatoes, and then I've picked up that off the back of someone's comment. Peanut butter, again, that's something I'm consistently buying. It's just high in protein and yeah, delicious. Good for toast, good for, someone actually said in the comment section about making like a satay sauce with it. I didn't do that in the last challenge. I feel like I missed out on that opportunity, so that's definitely going to happen with this peanut butter. With the pasta situation, so I'm going to make some pizza bread and we're going to try some of that pasta sauce. I was looking for cheese, and cheese is a massive chunk of the budget. Maybe with the rice and everything else we've got going on, we might have a bit more money to spend next week. But the only thing I could find to start with was a small pack of mozzarella, and I realised that I used the whole of one mozzarella to make a pizza. And then in the fridge section for the German week, I found some cheese slices, and I'll show you the receipt at the end for everything. These come in at £1.19, which is the cheapest I could find without opting for the processed, I call it plastic cheese, but it's burger cheese. I've got cheese this time round. I think I've been getting loads of advice to try and use more red split lentils. And another comment from the section, sorry, this is going to be a bit long-winded, this section here, because I just want to address that I am listening to people's comments and, you know, writing down the recipes ready to try. Someone said I should make a dal, so I'm going to make a dal. Does that pronounce right, Vicky?
A what?
A dal, D-A-H-L. It's an Indian dish, but I'm going to do that with some of them, with some of the onion, tin of chopped tomato, some of the tin chopped tomato, some veggie stock, some paprika or whatever. We're going to do that. We'll make a nice dal, and then we can probably I think we'll have that with rice, and then I can have that for lunch during the week. Bananas are back. Bananas are back, and someone said you can make vegan bacon by using banana skins. You can eat them. So I'm going to Google that later on today, but as soon as they mentioned it, I was like, okay, I need to see what this is about. So supposedly these skins get cooked and they become leathery and like bacon. We're going to try that. And another great comment as well, actually. I'm sorry I'm not mentioning the people who've made the comment. They are on all my other challenges. If it's you and you hear this, thank you so much. Put a banana, the other comment I got was put a banana into the freezer and then blend it and it turns into like an ice cream, and then add any other fruit or anything you've got with it. I thought that's brilliant. I thought I could add some fruit to it, or I could do the freezer trick to see what if it does come out like ice cream once frozen and then blended, and then add a little bit of peanut butter to it. So that's going to happen this week. Loads of new stuff. Penne pasta, a whole bag of very fine whole green beans. I wanted to make sure we got some greens on the shopping list this week, and some of the other bits were a bit overpriced. Some of the frozen stuff was expensive, and also some of the fresh stuff was expensive, and I had a little bit left over towards the end, and I did pick up a cabbage. So we're going to try and make some stuff with the cabbage. I'm thinking maybe stuffed cabbage, bacon stuffed cabbage or something. We'll work it out. It's a fun part of these challenges, is to kind of think on our feet. Baked beans, these are super cheap. I just wanted to play around with them because I don't normally buy them. It's effectively just pasta, but you're getting a lot of tomato sauce with it. Someone did mention on the channel in the comment section that it's really good for bulking out soups, like making a really savoury base for a vegetable soup. So I figured, alright, I'll pick one of them up. A tin of peeled potatoes. Whether we get around to using them this week with the amount of food we've got here, they'll still be good for the rest of the month. So I picked them up because they're nice and cheap and quite versatile. You may have seen them used in quite a few of my challenges. Tin of tuna, so high in protein, omega 3. I'm fancying like a tuna salad or tuna pasta salad with that. Then a bit of a random one, because I've now decided I'm going to pick up something slightly odd with each one, with each week as an ingredient, and that's anchovy fillets this time round. So it's anchovy fillets in olive oil, and anchovies give a really nice flavour. They give a good flavour to pastas. You can put them in most dishes. They've got that salty kind of savoury fishy flavour to them. So I picked up a chili con carne mix. We used this in the £7 for 7 days, so £1 a day challenge, and it was brilliant. I just fancied doing it properly, making a lentil, like a lentil and veg chili con carne, and just seeing how good this sauce is with done actually properly instead of trying to spread it out over 7 days. And this week's little treat for myself, so I'm going to add a treat in as well. I'm calling this a treat. Vicky will probably look at me like a treat is chocolate, but for me a treat is going to be thick and fluffy crumpets. So something quick and easy, nice breakfast. I've got some scavenged stuff from a hotel visit, which I put in with all my other stuff from like restaurants and stuff, and in there I've got some really nice butter. I've actually got a bit of spread as well. I've actually got some Marmite. I'll show you that later on because I'm conscious that I'm going on quite a lot with this section. So that's going to go with the crumpets, my chosen treat of the week. And then, as I mentioned previously, picking up a herb or a spice, one a week, so that if this was a real-time scenario and we were actually doing the £20 a week long term, because this is just a challenge, remember, it would build up our herbs and spices cupboard. I went for garam masala. I've actually got garam masala still left in the cupboard, but I use it quite a lot, so I figured I'll pick one up as the first one. So you're getting multiple spices in here. So the garam masala contains ground coriander, ground allspice, ground black pepper, ground cumin, ground cardamom, ground nutmeg, turmeric, ground ginger, ground, I can't even say that, cassia, ground bay leaf, ground cloves, salt, chili powder, cayenne pepper. So you're getting a mix up of everything. So if you imagine how much you'd have to pay to buy all of them to make your Indian seasoning, and this was under a pound. I'll get the receipt out in a minute and show you. But that's the first spice and herb. Each week we'll pick up one or two if I've got spare money, and at the end of the month long challenge we'll go through it and say, look, these are the herbs and spices you've now got on standby. And I'll show you how much of this I've got through in the course of a month, because I'm quite confident in saying that I'm not going to burn through all this even in the month challenge. That's enough waffling from me. I'll quickly show you the receipt so you can scan through it and make sure it's under £20. I think it came in at £19.90 or something. And then we'll move on to day one breakfast. Right, there we go. So there's the receipt. We've got the frozen fine beans, £1.19. The penne ragati, which is the pasta, 41. Peeled potatoes, 39p. Carrots, 69p. Red split lentils, £1.25. The self-raising flour came in at 78p. The Savoy cabbage was on an offer at 49p. There's the cheese slices I mentioned at £1.19. Crunchy peanut butter, 99p. Rice, 52p. Porridge oats, 89p. The onions were 70. Oh, sorry, hang on, where am I? Getting lost. Onions were 99p. The bananas were 78p. I got the 6 thick crumpets for 45p. The cooking bacon came in at 1.99. Anchovies, 69p. Full fat natural yogurt, 75p. Chopped tomatoes, 45p. 12 free range medium eggs, £2.39. Baked beans in tomato sauce, 27p. The spaghetti loops were 20p. Garam masala powder was 75p. The pasta sauce came in at 49p. casserole mix, which is the chili con carne version, 39p, and then finally the tuna chunks in brine for 55p, and that came in at £19.93. Right, I'm going to see you in the morning for breakfast. Right, day one and I'm having a treat already. Why not? I'm going to stick 3 of these crumpets into the toaster. I just got back from the allotment. I'm hungry. I'm going to have crumpets, and I'm going to show you guys quickly some of the stuff scavenged. What I do want to point out is occasionally on these challenges I get these comments saying I've seen bananas, or I've seen you cheating because you got biscuits and stuff like that. This is a house of 4. I've got 2 kids and a wife, and they don't do the challenge, so there's going to be food everywhere. I do in fact cook meals for my family as well as doing these challenges. I don't expect them to do these challenges with me. If they mention they want to do it, then I'm all for it, but I just wanted to point that out because I did get quite a lot of comments on that. Right, anyway, back on track. So when I say scavenged or freebies, it tends to be sauce sachets and the like when you go to restaurants, cafes, coffee shops, but can also include hotel trips, stuff like that. So this, I've actually started sectioning them off. I do have a bit of a problem because I absolutely love collecting freebies, sachets. So just an example, I've got some pickled ginger, some soy sauce, and some wasabi paste. I've kept these all separate, but whenever my daughter has sushi from Asdas, you can help yourself to these, and she doesn't always use them, so she brings them back for me because she knows I like to use them on the challenge, and she knows I like having a little stash of them. So that's predominantly Asdas. This is my increasingly growing sachets from restaurants and cafes and stuff. So you've got Heinz light mayonnaise, McDonald's barbecue, there's hot sauces from Taco Bell, I think there's some brown sauce and tomato ketchup, so loads of different sauces in there. I just keep them a little supply, especially where Heinz is quite expensive to buy. So these are the items. Oh, and then sorry, just quickly, there's sugars and coffees and salt and sweeteners all in there from different, whenever I pick up a coffee when I'm out at work or the like. And these are the ones I was really impressed with. So I didn't go mental because I didn't want to take the Michael, but I've got orange marmalade in these little jars. These are from the restaurant at the hotel, and some apricot. We've got these individual servings of Marmite. I love Marmite. Marmite did that advert, you either love hate, and they say, oh, I'm like Marmite, you either love me or you hate me. There's no middle ground. So I've got some Marmite. I'm actually going to have one of them with the crumpets. These are good for potatoes, roast potatoes especially. So pick them up. And then these aren't going to last me the whole month, but check out these. So these are really nice salted butters. That's going on the crumpets now. I've got quite a few of them. I've got some flora spread, and I've got some milk because I want to do some overnight oats, and I think it might be a little bit tastier if we use some milk mixed with the water this time round. And then next week we should have some money in the budget for some milk and spread. That's enough waffling on. Is crumpets a UK thing, or do other places have crumpets? I don't really know, but me and my kids absolutely love crumpets. I'm going to get as much out of these as I can, and you just spread them on. Interesting little fact, my wife suffers from trypophobia, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and that's small holes. It's a visual reaction to small holes. This triggers her, so she can't even look at crumpets yet, let alone eat them. I just thought that was quite interesting. That's quite common actually to have that. It just makes her feel ill. She doesn't like it at all. which means more crumpets for me. And then you're just going to put some Marmite on it. What a start, eh? I've got a feeling this is going to be a good week, guys. I think I might have an omelette for lunch, because I've got a bit of cheese, and every other challenge I've not had cheese on in the omelette or been sparse on stuff, so I think I'll have a cheesy omelette, and then we'll make a dal for tea, I think. But that's breakfast day one. We've got 3 crumpets with butter and Marmite. Delicious. Right, for lunch I want to do a 3 egg omelette with a bit of cheese, and I'm fancying a bit of bacon in it as well. First things first, I just want to ration out this bacon a bit, because you get 1 kilogram. So you could buy a pack of, like, I think it's 10 rashers for £1.50. Nice uniform rashers. Or you can just buy bacon, a big old chunk of bacon like that. Let's just get it on there, shall we? See if we got any whole rashers in here. I'd say that's pretty much a whole rasher, wouldn't you? Have to excuse the fact that I've got it on the side, so I ran out of space, but I'm saying 14 portions. I like to think that that's enough bacon rationed out for a whole month for one person. We'll see how I get on, but I think I'm just going to select something like that, but there for my eggy bacon, scrambled eggy thingy, whatever I'm doing. I think it's just going to be scrambled egg, bacon scrambled egg with cheese. But yeah, as you can see, £1.99, and that's a lot of bacon. You just got to sort it through and then decide what you're going to have ration wise, because that's a couple of nice bits of bacon there, but I could probably add that one with it. So I think I've just gone like 3 bits and then some scrappy bits. Cheesy bacon scrambled egg quick, a little bit of oil, and then some bacon, 3 eggs. That should leave us 9 eggs left for the rest of the week. Whisk it up. Look at these cheese slices, shall we? Cheese is amazing. It smells really strong. Add that in towards the end of the cooking of the egg, so it goes all gooey and melted. Just use the 1 slice. That leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more slices. Give that a bit of seasoning. Tiny bit of salt. Still haven't got a smaller pan yet. Was meant to be getting one off my sister, but it's not materialised. Also going to make some pasta up for the missus and the kids. That's something I feel like I need to constantly explain on the channel at the moment, because the amount of comments saying that, you know, why you've got other food items cooking, or why have you got stuff on the side. I do feel like I end up justifying myself a lot. It's doing the challenge and maintaining and living a normal life, isn't it? Turn it down a little bit. So tomorrow, being a Sunday, I need to get some flatbreads made up. So I've got stuff to take to work on Monday. I don't want to overcook these eggs. So let's get this cheese in now. That's such a strong smell on that cheese. I'm so impressed. If it goes well on pizza, I might actually look for some more when I go down. I'm not going to Lidl's, am I? There's a flaw in my plan. I'm asdas shopping on week 2. Lunch, cheese, melted cheesy egg bacon. I'm going to make it so you can see like the gooey cheese bit. Don't know if I can do it. Yeah, something like that. But this is absolutely delicious. Considering whether or not to put ketchup or a hot sauce sachet with it, but honestly, that cheese, I'm so happy that I picked it up. I need to look on the back of the pack again. I don't know, it's like an Austrian cheese, but it's so rich and it's got such flavour. It's going to be brilliant for cooking. I'm wondering if I make some cheese scones or some cheese muffins or something, because that flavour packs a punch. And I've only put one slice in here, and honestly, it is delicious. Look, that flavour comes through over smoked bacon. Says it all, really. Right, I'll see you later on this afternoon for a lentil dal. We're going to make a dal for dinner tonight, and we're going to have some left over for another meal. That's the plan anyway. Let's go through what we're doing quickly then. So first things first, we're just going to heat some olive oil in a pan. Use one of our onions, which we're just going to fry off. Let's just go through what we're going to use for the rest of the ingredients. Now the garam masala, which we're using a tablespoon of, that is something we just bought. So that is actually out of the £20 budget. We've used a tablespoon of that so far. I'm going to put that back in the cupboard. The herbs from the cupboard, we're using some garlic granules to replace the fresh garlic we don't have, the ground ginger, and some turmeric. Now this is the last of the turmeric, so that's the bottle done. So next week, this is kind of how I'm explaining how I treat and use my herb and spice store on a normal budget. So this is going to get replaced next week, and then that will be back on. For those of you who haven't seen it, that's my spice and herb station, I like to call it. But when I run out of something, it goes onto the shopping list. And as you can see, certain things like the mild curry powder, that's nearly needing filling up, replacing, and it just goes like that on a week by week basis. The garam masala, because I didn't check what one I needed, but now I know it's going to be turmeric. Anyway, stop waffling. Turmeric, garlic granules, ground ginger, the garam masala. From the kitchen cupboard, I have a stock cube, which has made a vegetable broth. So I'm going to use the whole tin of chopped tomatoes. So it is a good job I bought the pasta sauce mix, because this is going to take up the whole tin of chopped tomatoes. I've got 1.5 cups of red lentils. It's not even half a pack, but that's a good dent in the lentils. Well, normally it'd be 3 cups of vegetable broth and some coconut milk to make it a rich, creamier sauce, but I don't have coconut milk, so we're just going to add in 4 cups of vegetable broth. That's basically it ingredients wise. The only other ingredient which would normally go in with the lentils would be some spinach. I don't have spinach, but I do have the cabbage. So I'm thinking I might just take a few of the outer leaves, give it a wash. For those of you on the channel who are concerned about my health and advise me to wash all my veg and fruit, obviously I'm not going to do everything I'm told on the channel in the comment section, otherwise I won't get anything done. But that is definitely a bit of advice I'm going to take. Chop this up nice and small. Going to add in all the spices and the garlic powder. It's a wee bit dry, so we're going to add a splash. I think I might just cook the cabbage in with it now, followed by the whole tin of chopped tomatoes. And the broth. Broth, stock, same thing applies. I added half the broth in with the lentils, but I've used some to make sure I get all the flavouring off the bottom of the pan, and then we just transfer the whole lot. I use 1 cup of rice, which leaves us all of that left. I've got enough for dinner, and I've got enough which I'm going to cool down super quick, and we're going to have egg fried rice tomorrow night. And then I just want to show you let's take this over. I want to show you what the slow cooker looks like with the dal. There's so much of it as well. Super excited. It smells incredible. To the person who said do a dal, Absolutely, thank you so much. The amount left over is unreal. So I'm probably going to have that with some green beans tomorrow. I'll see how I feel after I've had egg fried rice for lunch. Big old tub left over, and then I've got today's dinner. Let's give it a little taste test. Let's get some of that with the rice. I'm going to try and get a bit of that cabbage as well. Oh, it's so tasty. I've not put any real spice in it. I didn't put any chilies or anything like that in it. Could have done a little bit of chili powder. It's just delicious. Amazed at how tasty this is. I've got a feeling this is definitely going to end up in vegan week as well. Right, I'm going to sit down and enjoy my dinner. Day one done. We're eating pretty well. Day two breakfast is nothing special. It's nothing exciting. It's just going to get me up and going. I've got some porridge with some hot water, and I'm going to add a little bit of apricot jam to it. So just going to use half the little jar of jam. Just give it some flavour. I will eat porridge plain. I'm really not bothered for breakfast. Unless I'm having something special like a bacon sarnie or cooked breakfast, I'll just eat porridge for the sake of being full up. I don't think I've ever really been that much of a breakfast person. Right, try and keep this nice and short and sweet this afternoon. One onion. Lack of spring onions for this. I quite like putting the spring onion in. I might do this quite stringy actually. Just chuck them in the pan. The rice left over from yesterday. Soy sauce. Quite a lot of soy sauce actually. Take 3 of them. Just going to crack the egg directly into the bowl. Then bang the rice in, and then in with the soy sauce packets, and we're just going to cook that through. So I forgot to mention that I had added some seasoning, some pepper, because the soy sauce was full of salt anyway. I'm going to give that a quick taste test, and I'm going to clean the kitchen while it cools down. Ready for making some flatbreads. That's delicious. It's going to be filling and it's going to get me through the rest of the day. I do love egg fried rice. Right, so I'm going to try and be less lazy, make my own flatbread, stop relying on bread and rolls and stuff like that in these challenges. So we're going to do 50-50. So I'm making quite a bit, so I want to make some for tomorrow. But I've got 210 grams of self-raising flour sieved down, and then we're going to go for the same amount. A bit too much, take some back. 210 grams of natural yogurt as well. A little bit of olive oil, bit of seasoning. I think I'm going to add some garlic salt. Add a little bit of garlic salt. Give that a mix. Right, I wonder how many I can make out of this. For a previous challenge where I made some pizza, kind of got me a bit more enthusiastic about this. I think if I could make 5, I'd be really happy. So it does say the thinner the better for a quicker cook. So I'm wondering how thin's too thin. What do you reckon? I reckon that's about right. Actually do need a little bit more of that flour. Stop it sticking to the work surface. Let's just give it a go. In there. Oh wow. Pretty good for a first attempt anyway. Put enough oil in for the first one, so I've just tried it. Tastes delicious, but I put a little bit more oil this time round, and you've got that awesome bubbling on it. Super happy with this. Thank you so much for everyone who encouraged me in the comments to have a go.
Have another bit.
Right, okay, so these are definitely a hit because they're getting pinched. You like them? Yeah, Shire's got no t-shirt on, so he's stealthy in there. Do you know what? Yeah, guys, because I love you, split that between the two of you. Shire will. And a chunk of the lentil dal, which I'm going to heat up on the stove. Going to throw some green beans in, and then I've got. Actually, I've been snacking on it. Actually, it is so delicious, unreal. I've got one of the flatbreads. Flatbread for tomorrow for lunch, probably breakfast as well with an egg, and I've got lentils to use up tomorrow as well as today. That dal is going a long way. So there we have dinner, day 2. Yet more dal for days with green beans and homemade flatbread. I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for breakfast, day 3 already. Breakfast on day 3 just before I get ready for work, nice and early, is a bacon, egg, and we've got some cheese there as well. Flatbread wrap, decent for breakfast. Lunch at work today in the van is yet more dal with lentil dal with some of the homemade flatbreads from yesterday. I've actually got some left over still, but I put it in a freezer bag so I can save it for week 2. Maybe have it with a jacket potato or something, because I've already had dal for 3 days. I really don't want to be eating it for the 4th day in a row on the challenge. Right, so tonight we're going to have a cheeky little pasta. I'm also going to try the banana ice cream tonight, I think, as well, and make lunch ready up for the next few days, just because it makes life simpler. That's the pasta for tonight. And then I've got a good old chunk of pasta, which we're going to make a tuna pasta salad, which is ideal for easy lunches. For this pasta sauce, I'm going to use the anchovy fillets. They're in olive oil, so we might as well use the olive oil up. This was actually a tip off the comment section. So it's a £1 a day challenge. If I'd have bought the sardines in oil like sunflower or olive oil, I could have used that for cooking over the tomato sauce, and to be fair, there wasn't a lot of tomato sauce in the cheap things. Right, anyway, so we've got the oil heating up in the pan. I've just diced one of the onions nice and small, and a carrot really small, because I just wanted to add a bit of extra veg in. While that's cooking down, we can just get on and do the lunch. So use pretty much half the pack of pasta. That's going to make a couple of lunches plus the dinner we're having tonight. And then I drained off the tin of tuna. Just going to whack the whole lot in. And then we're going to add some scavenged packs of mayonnaise. I think next week, because we're going to have quite a bit left over, I'm going to buy a bottle of mayonnaise, because I use it for quite a lot of stuff. So, and we're not going to have an infinite amount of these. And I'm not going near any restaurants or cafes until after this month's up, so I'm probably going to deplete my entire stash of salvage stuff and then rebuild it again. Anchovy oil is infused with anchovies, so it's coming up with a really nice smell. It's like a fishy aroma with the onion as well. And then in with the tuna pasta. Now ordinarily, because I make this a lot for work, Vicky has it for her lunch as well, I would add spring onions, but we don't have any spring onions, so I'm going to add some green beans just for a bit of green and crunch. Because we use the salvage mayonnaise, I'm just going to add a little bit of mustard to give it a little bit of a kick and that tangy flavour, and then mix it all together. And there's lunch for the next few days. Gonna add in some of the anchovies. I absolutely love anchovies. Make sure I save some back because I want to put some on a pizza. And then I'm probably going to use about half of the jar of the tomato pasta sauce. Don't need to add salt because anchovies are very salty. But I am going to add in some black pepper and a splash of water just to loosen it up a little bit. Simmer that down for a minute. And then we can add in the pasta. Let's give this a taste. That's really tasty. Anchovies just give it that extra little bit of flavour. It's delicious. Nice and easy, nice and quick. Used up some of the anchovies. Still got some left for a pizza. Cooked up and made the pasta, cooled it down for lunch boxes, so I've got 2 days worth of lunch to take to work. Oh, major flaw, I'm not even at work for the next 2 days. That was silly, wasn't it? Okay, well I've got 2 easy meals to have at home and more time to make some muffins and stuff, I guess. One thing I do need to discuss, obviously I didn't buy any coffee, so I don't have any coffee in the mornings. I thought I'd be fine. It was a very foolish thing to do. So in my head, I was thinking I can get through this without any coffee, and it will save me money. But the reality is I like coffee. I like coffee in the morning. I function better with coffee in the morning. I've joked saying that I run on coffee in the morning because I don't have it. I've really been struggling. Next week when we go shopping, because this £20 may seem a little bit high, but the average UK person spends £40 on food during the week. That's a proportion for food shopping, a proportion for drinks, coffees when they're out and about, eating out and stuff like that. I've cut it down to 20, and obviously that won't stretch to going out. I need coffee though. I was going through my scavenge stuff and I have 1 coffee. So tomorrow morning I'm going to have that 1 coffee just to get up and get going. And the first thing I'm buying when I go to asdas is a jar of cheap coffee. It doesn't need to be good coffee, it just needs to be caffeinated. And I could even go without milk if the budget doesn't stretch. I just need coffee. So that's my big mistake this week. I didn't anticipate the fact that I rely on coffee so much. And the cruel thing is, the wife's got her coffee on the go and I smell it in the morning. But I stick to the challenge because otherwise I'm just kidding myself. Basically that's it, innit? The only person that I'm fooling and faking it to is myself. So I actually do stick to these budgets. I don't miss the alcohol. My body can do without the alcohol anyway. But coffee needs to come back. I've got day 4 tomorrow. So I've got 3 more days. So I'm going to have a coffee tomorrow, then a couple more days, and then I'm going to be back on the coffee. Enough waffling. I'll see you in the morning for breakfast. Alright, so we've got the Nescafe, the sweetener, and some milk. So it's quite easy to get hold of these milks, because a lot of places where you go to get coffee or tea, you can grab a milk. It's out there to help yourselves. Hotels as well. Coffee on the other hand is a bit different, because you're normally going to get a coffee when you get the rest of the free stuff. It's a very dark coffee, but you know what, I don't care. I'm just grateful to have a coffee. A lot of people say in the challenges, why do you put coffee as don't include coffee in the challenge? Well, normally it's because it's on a food we're just doing the basics on a real tight budget, but this month we're just seeing how far we can stretch the £20 a week and how that looks at the end. So I thought I'd include drinks and stuff like that. Now I'm not too bothered about fizzy drinks or squash. I can take it or leave it. I'm learning my lesson when it comes to coffee. Anyway, So that's our breakfast. We've got 2 crumpets with some floral spread and a nice coffee. This afternoon for lunch we've got the tuna pasta, and then I'm going to make in a minute, I'll film it in a minute, but this evening, because I want it in the slow cooker all day, I'm going to make a lentil and bean chili con carne. Right, so we're going to make life super simple. Just going to chuck it all in one pot and leave it on on low. I don't need as much as I did the dal, so we've still got quite a lot left of the lentils. Just going to rinse them off. I've got some green beans I'm going to chop up. So we're making this at breakfast, it gives us plenty of opportunity to leave it all day so that the lentils cook. Just chop them roughly, chuck them in. Could use the cabbage as well, but I'm going to save that because I want to do something else with it. Some baked beans, because normally with this chili mix you add chopped tomatoes. I don't have any chopped tomatoes left because I only bought the 1 tin. So I think what we do is we drain off, because you get quite a lot of juice in with the cheap tin tomatoes. Chuck in 2 carrots chopped up or diced, and then the chili mix. Actually, a little bit back for our soup, I think. That might go nicely in the soup, so I've saved a little tiny bit. So we'll do 200 mils instead of 250. Just realised I haven't put the onion in. So I'm just going to put the onion in and then the sauce. Some people might say you need to fry the onion off, but honestly it'd be fine as it is. I forgot to make the ice cream yesterday, didn't I? That's alright, I'll get this in the slow cooker. I've added a little bit more water, to be honest, because the lentils will soak it up, and I can keep an eye on it because I'm at home today. You might need a little bit extra added. But let's chuck that on the slow cooker and get that cooking. I'll come back at lunchtime. We'll have the tuna pasta and I'll do the ice cream like I said I was going to do last night. The tuna pasta for lunch, it's really filling, really tasty, not far off what how I normally make it. I'm going to try this comments tip of a frozen banana with some peanut butter, and I've got a free instant hot chocolate drink mix. I'm thinking this might work better in a hand blender, but I don't have one. So we're just going to try it in this blender. Just add a little bit of the, not all of it. And let's give it a blend and see if we can make it to an ice cream consistency. I think this has worked. Holy mackerel. So there we go, look. So it's basically made an ice cream consistency. Let's give it a taste test. Consider my mind blown. It's ice cream. Same consistency, cold, it's ice cream. It's not hot, but it is ice cream. And I was just thinking, what a perfect way of not wasting bananas. You know when they get to that point where they're really ripe and you can't eat as many bananas as you got, or whatever's happened, and you've got a load of spare bananas and they're right on the brink, just shove them in the freezer and then add stuff to them. I mean, they said you can add berries and fruit and whatever you want, honey or whatever, but I'll tell you what, if you like Snickers and you like peanuts and stuff like that, banana, peanut butter with a little bit of crunchiness left in it, and cocoa powder is like having an ice cream Snicker. That's so good. Honestly, I owe so much to this comment section on my channel. Some absolute geniuses out there. And I'm going to finish my ice cream. Thank you so much. For dinner, we've got the lentil chili with some rice. And there's more than enough for another meal. So that can go in the freezer. So many repeat meals. It's just easy, isn't it, to make larger quantities and have extra. Let's give it a taste test. It's not amazing. Oh, I was expecting it to be a bit nicer than that. I might need to add a little bit of chilli to it. Just added some of the spicy hot sauce from the Taco Bell seasoning sachets. It definitely improves it. It definitely needed some more heat. I'm not going to lie and say I'm a little bit disappointed in this one. It's edible. I just had higher expectations, but there's dinner anyway for day 4, and we've got some food left over. Highlight for today though is definitely the banana imitation ice cream. Making the most of being off midweek from work, so I figured we'd use the last of the flatbread we made. We'll have ourselves a little mini cooked breakfast. So I've got some bacon on the go, a couple of eggs, fried eggs, and some baked beans. That'll keep me going all day pretty much. This is one of those things where I do try and do 3 meals a day, but this, to be honest, is going to be more than enough. So the plan later on is to make some muffins, so I might just have a muffin and a banana for lunch, and then we'll have the tuna, because it'll be good for another day anyway. So we'll have the tuna for lunch at work, because I'm back to work for the last 2 days. Right, for lunch we're going to do the banana muffins. I'm going to do a separate video of making these, so I'll put up a separate video of making these and join you at lunchtime when they're baked. Just going to have a couple of these muffins. I'm still pretty much full up from my bigger breakfast, and then tonight we've got pizza we're making, so I'm going to have a couple of these, just give it a little taste test. This is from a recipe idea from the comment section once again. So many brilliant, I mean, can't thank you guys enough for all the advice, tips and recipes you give me. Let's give this a taste. Absolutely delicious. A little bit sticky inside, but I imagine that's because it's most predominantly banana, but very tasty and a good way of using up bananas, oats and a little bit of baking powder. Right, so I'm just setting to make dinner. I've made another flatbread. I'm calling it a pizza base, but it's effectively flatbread. That was 70 grams of flour and 70 grams of yogurt, just to make enough for a pizza base, so a larger size of what we made the other day. Going to chop up some onion. I've got some cheese to go on top. I didn't cover that very well, it's gone a little bit hard. Okay, well I'll use the top bits then, because it doesn't matter, it's going to melt. So I've got the anchovy, onion and cheese pizza with the pasta sauce, thinly spread. I didn't put too much, I didn't want it to be too watery. Just going to stick that in the oven for dinner. I'm about to make a soup, overnight soup for tomorrow. And I figured I'm going to make some overnight oats as well. So I'm going to use up what's left of the yogurt for the week. I've added a little bit of water in there because it will soak it all up. And you can just do overnight oats with water anyway. A lot of people get triggered that I use water all the time with my porridge. So we're going to make some natural yogurt, peanut butter and honey overnight oats, and that will be day 6 and 7 sorted for breakfast. I'm really excited as we're creeping up towards the end of this challenge. I know we're on day 5, we've still got a couple to go, but I've got loads of ingredients left, and that's a good thing considering we're rolling across 4 weeks. Frees me up with a lot of options for next week, which is exciting. We'll go through it all at the end of this video. There's the natural yogurt. Add a spoonful of peanut butter. Still leaves us half the peanut butter for next week. Something else we don't have to buy. Some scavenged honey. This is nice honey as well. I'll do. Try and save half of that honey. Mix this in and then we can get on and make the soup as well. So tomorrow will be a nice easy day again. There we go, 2 lots of overnight oats, peanut butter, honey, with some natural yogurt. Sit them in the fridge, let them soak up overnight. Something I've been told multiple times in the comment section to do, and I have done them before, and I don't know why I don't bother doing them more often. But yeah, it'd be nice. I have not done peanut butter and honey before, so it'd be good to try these in the morning. We're going to make a nice simple chuck it in the slow cooker. Soup, we're just going to start with a stock cube, a vegetable stock cube. Give it a bit more depth, flavour. We're going to add the tomato sauce. Might need to rinse that out a bit to get the rest out. I'm going to add, I've used up some of the garam masala, stuff we bought this week, because it's got loads of spices in it. So we're going to have kind of like a curried vegetable soup, which will work well with the tomato base. And then we've got a onion, 2 carrots, and some of our cabbage. So I've just washed and prepped that ready to go. And a little bit of pepper for seasoning. I'll put salt in at the end once I've tried it, after it's been in the slow cooker. I do love soups, they're super easy. They can just sit in the slow cooker all day when I'm at work, and it just makes my life a lot easier. I think obviously my family wouldn't want to eat soup all the time, but I think I could personally, if I lived on my own, just live off of soup and stews, soups and casseroles. Don't think it would really bother me too much. I have had an idea. I'm going to put a little bit of rice in. I say idea, it's someone recommended it on the channel in the comment section again. They said you could add a bit of rice just to give it a bit more substance, a few extra calories in that. So just going to rinse some rice off. I'm not going mad, I'm not adding loads of rice, just enough that it gives it a little bit extra. Still got loads of rice left. Definitely won't be buying rice next week, or pasta, or lentils, or porridge, or flour. Give that a stir, and then I just whack that on low all day when I go to work in the morning. There we go, there's tonight's dinner. I just checked, and I'll just try and flip it over. So it's lovely and cooked all the way through, all the way underneath. It's not got a soggy bottom. No one wants a soggy bottom. Let's give this a taste test. This is probably the easiest way of making a pizza. There's what it looks like. Now I understand that anchovies isn't everyone's cup of tea, especially my wife and my son. They do not like seafood. Not fans of it. My daughter on the other hand does. But this, to me, is a perfect pizza. It wasn't that hard to make. It was just I just did 50-50 natural yogurt with self-raising flour. I added a little bit of salt and pepper to the bread, and then just rolled it out, and that was it. And then added some tomato-based pasta sauce topping and that cheese is just still so good. That Austrian cheese, it's really high up there in my ratings for cheese. It's just got that lovely cheesy flavour to it. The salty anchovies and the onion, it's just perfect. I'm back to work for the last 2 days. You can see today I've been very busy in the kitchen. I just wanted to make my life a bit easier for the next 2 days. Bearing in mind on the last day I've still got to go food shopping as well. So I wanted to give myself time to sit down and plan out next week. I don't want to do the same meals. Probably going to buy some cereal next week as well, because I'm trying to do a realistic single person budget for a month and show you how to build up your pantry. I know I keep saying it, but just trying to emphasize these things. I do say things quite a lot on this channel, but sometimes I feel like it doesn't always get taken in. For example, yesterday I put a comment up saying I saw soft cheese in the background, as if I'm cheating, but I do make it very clear as much as possible that I've got 3 other people in this house and they don't always want to take part in my YouTube stuff. So I cook for them still. There's going to be food around in the kitchen. I can't take everything out the kitchen and say this is just my studio. It doesn't work like that. This is real life. I'm working, they're eating. My wife might come in and make some crackers with cheese on it and leave it on the side, and I'm going to film it. It's just one of them things. But that's why I kind of repeat myself as much as possible, because I just want to be clear. Enough waffling on. I'll see you in the morning. I'm looking forward to trying those overnight oats to see what peanut butter honey tastes like in them. I had to leave early for work this morning because there's loads of roadworks going on, so I thought I'd just chuck the overnight oats in my bag and have them when I get there. Let's give it a try. So it looks like that now. Really nice, kind of rich, creamy flavour to it where it's soaked in overnight with the peanut butter and the sweetness from the honey. It's really tasty actually, and really simple. So I've got home from work and I've realised that I didn't do the little video recording of me eating the tuna pasta, but obviously it's not the end of the world. And then I've come back, and then for tea I've got that lovely soup which has been in the slow cooker all day. Just going to give it a little taste test. It's got like a really sweet root vegetable flavour to it. I think that might be the sweetness from the carrot and the tomato sauce, but it's delicious. It's you could blend it down if you wanted to, but I really quite like it like that, with the cabbage and the carrots and everything and the onions in it. So another easy soup to make in the slow cooker, and I've got enough for lunch tomorrow in my flask. So tomorrow is the last day of week 1, so it's going to be a repeat of the overnight oats and then some soup for lunch. And because I'm going to go shopping after work, I think I'm just going to use up that rice with the lentil bolognese just to get it out of the way. Last day of week 1, and I'm back in the car eating breakfast just to avoid that traffic. I just refuse to sit in it, because if I leave any later it's going to be like an hour, and if I leave early enough it's only 25 minutes max. So just one of them things. I'm off next week. I've got a week's holiday, so week 2 is going to mean a lot more cooking and recipes, and it might even be a longer video, so we'll have some fun with that. I think the change of plan for tonight is I'm going to go home, have dinner, and then go to Asda's. I really want to sit down with you guys and go through what's left, so that we can do a better shop. I just don't want to go in. I didn't have time to do it last night, and I don't want to just go in and wing it and just grab a load of ingredients this time. I really want to start building up the cupboards, pantry, and some of the items which will, you know, which will complement what we've already got. So that's the plan anyway. Wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to film this today after yesterday, but I've got my vegetable soup for lunch and the last 2 of the muffins. So that's me done for lunch. I'm in a bit of a rush because I want to get shopping done so I can put my feet up on a Friday and use up the rice with the lentil chili. Shopping for week 2, which you'll see in the next episode after this one. Let's have a recap. Let's have a recoup of the ingredients and stuff we got left over from week 1. So we're carrying over, vegetable wise, we're carrying over half the bag of green beans, 6 onions, so we probably will buy more onions in week 3, but we've got enough for next week. The carrots, which still look relatively fresh, if they do start to look like they're turning, we can prepare them, chop them up, and then freeze them. Half the cabbage still, and then we got 2 bananas. I do fancy some more banana muffins, but we'll see how we go into the next week. Most of the self-raising, so plenty more baking to come. Nearly half the bag of pasta, the whole tin of peeled potatoes, which we didn't use, just didn't get round to it, so they're now in the cupboard, in the pantry. Nearly half the lentils. I might go easy on the lentils this week and focus on maybe picking up some mincemeat, some chicken if I can get it in the budget. Just over half the rice, and just over half the porridge oats. We've got plenty of shelf stable products there. Didn't touch the spaghetti hoops as a backup. Just under half, maybe slightly less, of the peanut butter. The garam masala, picking up another one next week, but we've got loads left in there. Well over half of that. A little portion, I didn't use that in the soup, did I? Okay, well, we've got some chili con carne seasoning left over. 4 eggs out of the 12 pack. 1, 2, 3, 4 slices of the cheese. 1 crumpet which has gone in the freezer because I didn't want it to go off. The 1 portion of the lentil dal, which has been frozen down, and loads of bacon. So there's 2 defrosted bacon, and then still loads of bacon. Do you remember we portioned that down at the beginning? So you've still got what, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus the 2 which we didn't use last week. Loads of ingredients left over. Gonna get some exciting different ingredients, looking at some chicken, some other stuff next week. So I'm gonna go shopping now, and I'll share it in the week 2 video with you guys. Part 2 next Tuesday if you're watching this on upload. or I'll put it in a playlist if you're late to the game and watching it after upload. I think that pretty much concludes week 1. It's been fun. I kind of like the idea of getting hold of different ingredients. I like building up a little bit of supplies, making it more realistic. So it's showing people, if you're looking at this as a budgeting idea, how you can build up a safety net of food, how you can build up your pantry, your larder, your cupboard, whatever you want to call it, get some herbs and spices, carry them over from week to week. So £20 does seem like a slightly higher budget, but we are putting food in the cupboards for longer term use. Next week I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to build up the pantry a bit more. I'm going to get some more herbs and spices. I'm going to get some different ingredients so that we're not eating the same thing every week. We're just going to make new recipes, make it a bit more exciting. I am talking quite quickly because I'm in a rush because I want to get to the shops. I am going to get a treat. I don't know what it is yet. It might be something else to do with breakfast. It might be biscuits. It might be some chocolate. I don't know yet. I will see when I get there and how much I'm going to spend. But £20 limit for the next week with all this stuff carried over should give us a leeway. Something a little bit different week 2. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a long video if you've watched all the way through. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out some of my other content and I'll hopefully see you for week 2 of this 4-week challenge. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye bye.